I already did a video on this. Some of it. I wasn't done it yet, but I did. I don't know if it's at the end of my last video. It was a story of the equals, and the equals have skills, which is magic. They just don't like to call it magic. And everybody has to work for them for 10 years as a slave. Anybody without magic has to work for the equals, which is like an aristocrat family that, because they have powers, they rule everything. Really, if you don't have any powers, you can't fight against those who do. There's 3 brothers, and Gavin is the oldest, so he's going to inherit. And like the position of ruler, there's politics in here. They have political meetings. So he gets a slave girl pregnant. Really, anybody without powers they call a slave. And she has the baby. She tries to run away with the baby, and he kills her. He's mad. He's got a bad temper. And he ends up killing her. But he really takes care of his daughter, Libby. There's a family that have decided to serve their 10 years, because you decide when you want to serve your 10 years. Do you want to serve them while you're young, and then you end up broken for the rest of your life because you're treated so viciously and the working conditions are so horrible? Or do you want to wait till you're old and you know you're going to die there for your last days, for your 10 years, and die? So anyways, this family decide to go while they're young. The one girl is 10. I can't think of her name. Anyways, I don't see it here. The one girl is 10 years old, and she gets a position up at the main house looking after this little baby, Libby. Oh my goodness. What is her name? I think it starts with a B. I can't find it now. And then, but nobody in the family likes the baby. They don't believe the baby's going to have magic. The one brother, Silyun, he does believe the baby's going to have magic. But, anyway, so the 10-year-old ends up looking after the baby. She ends up doing an awesome job. And Gavin, the father, is extremely happy with her. And he's a very, very difficult person. Anyways, the brother Luke, he gets sent to the town, the brutal factory town. And he discovers an organization in the town that help people. You know, everybody's starving, and there's a group of people they call the Doc. There's Angel, and there's a few other ones, and they try to get things from the outside of the town in that people really need. Everything: shoes, food, medical supplies. Luke does end up going to the house, the big aristocrat's house. And then there's the other sister, Abby, and she ends up falling in love with the other brother, Jenner. Jenner is the nicest brother, but he doesn't have any magic, so he's really not accepted. He's a letdown to the family because Gavin has magic, and then Jenner doesn't. He's second in line. He doesn't have any magic, so that really wrecks everything for him. And then there's Silyun, and he is really powerful. He is very strange. He's very different, and he has a lot of power. And of course, he's the youngest. And the father is a mean bugger. So it tells what goes on when Luke is in the factory district working, and it's not very nice. But he joins that group to help people, and then it tells about the things that they do. Then he ends up at the house, and then one of the equals use him for a crime because they can control you, right? They can take away your memories. They can do anything they want with you. They have magical powers. So After he commits this crime, his mom and dad and his sister Abby are sent to the town where he was, the factory town, the terrible working factory town where he was. Except for the youngest daughter, who's 10, because Gavin wants to keep her there to look after his little girl, Libby, because she's doing such a good job. So now the family's getting split up because Luke committed a crime. He was used, but him being used was covered up. Somebody made him do the crime by taking over his mind and his body. And then after the crime was committed, and the crime ended up being a mistake, and he didn't actually do what he was supposed to do, but still, he committed a crime. It just went bad. Another guy, another equal, gets into his mind and covers up who did it, and that they forced him to do it. He gets in his mind, covers up his memories, or takes him away, or whatever, so that when the next person checks, there's no memory in Luke's mind of his mind being tampered with, and who tampered with it. So poor Luke, everybody's like sticking their fingers in his brain there. Abigail, that's right, the little girl who's 10 looking after the baby is Abigail. No, that's not right. No, that's Abby. They just call her Abigail too. Hang on, I'm gonna find the other daughter's name. Okay, so the family is going to be sent to the terrible working town of Millmore. And Daisy too, you mean. Jenner looked up at the ceiling as if the words he needed might be written along the wooden beams. They weren't, of course. Daisy stays here. Abby's head snapped up. She hadn't seen that one coming. Mum roared furiously and launched herself at Jenner. Well, it's not Jenner's fault. He's the brother doesn't have any magical powers. He just has to do what he's told to do. Unfortunately, he's the one who had to deliver the news that the family's going to be split up. You're taking my children, Mum sobbed. Okay. It's not permitted, Abby said to Jenner, more to have the matter over and done with than in any expectation of comforting reply. But anyways, it's up to the father. He's the law. And Daisy, she loved the little girl dearly, but Daisy was still a child herself, not even yet 11. Anyways, so this is the end of the book. Luke's gone. He's been taken someplace because of the crime. Of course, there's more to it. There's always more to every book. More characters and more things that go on. Can't explain everything. But, yeah, it's a good book. I don't know how I keep getting these young adult books, though. I really don't. I don't care. You know? But again, yes, it does sort of read like a young adult book. And again, I don't care. If it's a good story, it's a good story. But, I kind of like to get into some more adult type fantasy books. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, because it's a good book, but it's not done. And now I have to get back to the library to find the next one.